What's up, America? It is game time. We have changed formats. First of all, Jay didn't have to sit next to me no more. He gets to sit in Killeen, and I'm sitting in Temple because of the lovely coronavirus. But this is Dynasty game time right here in Temple, Texas. I'm Russell Maybin, your host. This is my best friend, Jaye Thompson, Killeen, Texas. And we are starting our very first new show with our format here. This is going to be Dynasty related podcast. No more, I'm not in a redraft league this year. I'm not even playing one at all. I retired. And to show you exactly how fun my friends think it is to play in a redraft league, when I retired, the whole league folded in like 24 hours. Am I lying, Jay?
No, you always ahead of the curve, so we follow your lead.
That's scary business right there. So what's up, man? How you doing?
Oh man, trying to make it. I think technology is actually good when we use it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All this time, who knew that we could still make stuff happen without having to drive across town?
There you go. There you go. I know. So now we're going to be doing a daily show. It's going to be me and Jay every day, 45 minutes of Dynasty talk every day on your computer.
Every hour on the hour.
It's like there's breaking news, and Dynasty Game Time is live in Temple, Texas. Like,
why you tripping, man? It's a guy on YouTube, Miami Dolphin fan, and I'm telling you, every 5 minutes he's on there breaking news.
He's just trying to get that dub.
Breaking news, Miami signs kicker. Like, okay, dude.
All right.
Later, breaking news, and he talks about it for 2 hours. So,
well, I can't do it by myself, man. I got to have my brother with me.
Amen, man. I'm with you. It's been a minute, so
it has been a minute. So I wanted to kind of go over kind of what we're going to be doing and kind of how we're going to be approaching this going forward. So we completely changed names. We completely changed formats. This is now Dynasty Game Time. This is for serious fantasy football players that are playing Dynasty, and so actually it makes me feel a little more secure talking to you because I'm in so many leagues with you. But now, even if I liked Tom Brady or Chris Godwin or Mike Evans or any of these people that we're going to be talking about here in a second, it doesn't matter because they're already on a team. Like, I'm not going to be going after them or trying to trade, trying to draft them. They're already on a team, so it doesn't even
with contracts, all kind of stuff.
So, so it makes it a little. I feel like I can actually let my guard down a little bit, because
we're gonna see.
We'll see.
It sounds good.
But I think it'd be a little more of a pure show now without having to guard my words. Like, well, maybe I'll not say that right there. I ain't gonna tell him that. But we can kind of just lay it out there. Maybe when we talk rookies, it'll get a little more close to the vest. But we'll see what happens.
Hey, before you dig in, I want to talk about like you're saying, with this change that we're going through. One thing I can say, our fantasy brothers, we've been reaching out to each other, been trading, been talking more. So
I haven't been trading.
Right.
Al hasn't been trading, but other people are trading. Yes.
Oh, yeah. So that's been pretty cool, man. That we even in times like these, we've come closer. Maybe that's because everybody off or what, but fantasy crew been still making it happen. It's like
absolutely.
All we got.
And how boring this would be if we were only in redraft leagues. Good night. This is year 15 for us, man. Year 15 of the UFC this year.
Man,
that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy business. Did you realize me, you, and Ed were the only three still in there from the very beginning?
Man, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just go through these things. I went through the major free agent pickups, and I just want to talk about their value and what they did for the value of the people around them.
Okay.
That's cool. All right. So I don't know if you're familiar with this guy or not, but there's a quarterback that was drafted out of Michigan in the year 2000. He's in the sixth. He's a late round draft pick, so you might not have heard of him. His name is Tom Brady. TB 12. You've heard of him?
Okay. 199, something like that.
Yeah, he went. I think it was pick 199, and I think Spurgeon Wynn might have gone before him. I don't know. I can't remember. Can't get all the details exactly right.
Oh, talking about that guy that can start in college. That same guy.
He could almost beat out Drew Henson. I mean, he almost could do it. But yeah. So Tom Brady. So let's talk about Tom Brady, because Brady is he's on rosters in some of our leagues. He's not. He's in free agency in another league. Where is his value right now? Do you think getting into a Bruce Arians offense is going to shoot his value up, shoot it down? Do you think if you were one quarterback away from having a real legit contender, would that be somebody you could go after?
Well, I think right off the bat, this is a totally different way to look at it from a redraft league. Yep. As a dynasty, and Brady was always that guy. It seemed like it was a week-to-week kind of thing with him.
It's almost like they come up with a different game plan every week.
Right.
They did.
You know what? We're not running the ball at all this week. And all of a sudden, Brady had like 5 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying?
Jonas Gray, 4 touchdowns. Never heard from again. What happened?
Yeah. So, as a dynasty prospect, I mean, it's one of those you have to look at when it comes to the auction. Because, like you said, I don't think he's on too many teams in our leagues that we have. So
at his age, it's you just don't know if you can roster him.
Right. Well, I would look at him as a number 2 that you can maybe pick up in in the auction. Nothing crazy, but of course, the way we do it, it's gonna be crazy. Go ahead.
So you're thinking backup in a 1 quarterback league, or maybe a starter in a super flex?
Yes. I mean, everybody, when you go through our dynasty rosters, people have their stud 9 times out of 10 at quarterback.
Right.
So, Brady is that guy that I'm gonna tell all our dynasty viewers, it's cool, but you don't want to find him going against him maybe 1 week, and then he put the whammy on you.
Yeah. What do you think about his fit in the Bruce Arians offense? Because to me, he had an older quarterback. He's had older quarterbacks before. He's had, going way back. I mean, he's mentored Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger. He's had guys before, and I know these guys were a lot younger at the time, but he's had older quarterback, Carson Palmer. Yeah. I mean, he's had some older quarterbacks and had success with them. So to me, I look at his offense and what he did with the Cardinals and what he's done with the Colts and the Steelers. And I don't see a running back there. Not that they won't draft one, but I don't see a running back there that would really make them want to take the ball out of his hands.
But I think it's not a Bruce Arians offense. It's called, what do you want to do? You know what I'm saying? So you got the weapons. I think it's more about the weapons than the offense and the quarterback, to me. So that if he thrives, it won't be because if Bruce Arians is going to draw up these magical plays, or Brady's going to,
give the credit where it's due. Give the credit where it's due. Give the credit where it's due. Your favorite, your guy, the guy that was going to be the Black Dan Marino, Byron Leftwich, baby, the gunslinger.
I just think it's going to be just because of the weapons that he has it's
He's
a
not
good
had a
deal.
receiving core like this. I mean, I remember '07 where he had Moss and Welker and Stallworth. Remember how
Mm,
Stallworth scored like
yeah,
10 touchdowns. Of course, everybody was scoring touchdowns that year for him. But yeah,
right.
I don't remember him having two wide receivers like this ever before.
Well, that and I mean, he got his two tight end set again. You know, with the tight
We'll,
ends that
we'll
they
we'll get
have.
there. We'll get there. All right. So
Oh, okay.
let's get into this.
All
Chris
right.
Godwin last year, monster,
All right.
monster. Do you think his value goes up, goes down, or stays about the same?
Well, he did give his number up for free, so I mean,
I'm pretty sure that wasn't for free. There's going to be an addition onto his house or something.
that's called. Last year I got 100 targets. This year I'm getting 150
I
targets.
need 120 this year for sure.
Yeah, and you can have the number, but remember me.
You can have the number as long as you throw to whatever number I pick
Uh,
next.
you can have 12 for 12 targets a game.
That's
Yeah, there
right.
you go.
That's right.
Yeah, so I just think
Still a
that
monster this year, or
still a monster, man.
yeah.
Still a
I,
monster.
I agree. I think for right now, hold as is with his value, but I think it's got the potential to go up or down, just depending on you know Brady and how he manages this offense and how he fits and all that stuff. But yeah, I would definitely count on him because he's like 14 years old. So I mean, I would definitely count on him going forward as being a huge stud.
Right, and because he's just so all around too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just too easy. That's a perfect fit. I think him and Brady.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what about this? What about the next guy, Mike Evans?
Well,
Higher, lower, or the same?
I think it might even out because I just see it as maybe more touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? I don't know
Maybe
about
fewer
the
targets.
yardage.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And Brady knows that, and every time he's man up anywhere near the red zone, if he can throw it that far, he's gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just feel like this might be more chunk, might be more touchdowns, but and he's not one of those I mean not that I know of the diva type, like, if he only get 3 targets, but they, deep or red zone, he'll take it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So
yeah.
that's how I see. It might not be a yardage thing, but as for a week by week fantasy when it comes to touchdowns, I don't see a drop off there, man.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. I'm going back to Brady here, but you might be aware that Jameis Winston threw a few interceptions last year.
30 for 30.
He's, he's, he's a
He had his own 30
living,
for 30
breathing 30
show.
for 30. He's a 30-30 guy. Now I'm talking about 30 home runs and 30 steals. But he threw a few interceptions last year. So you're getting Tom Brady, who you're pretty much guaranteed is going to throw less than 10 interceptions. What do you think that's going to do for that offense?
Well, I think when you look at it overall, I mean, it makes it scary. I mean, I look at this as, some people might think it's a bad thing, but I think it's good when Montana went to the Chiefs. And yeah, they didn't win a Super Bowl, but man, they went far.
Mm-hmm.
Those two
They were in the
years.
championship game, yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'm not saying, oh man, they already got their ticket punched for the Super Bowl or nothing like that, but they're gonna have to be reckoned with. You
The
know what I'm
big
saying?
difference, the big difference in this and that is Tom Brady's walking into Chris Godwin and Mike Evans and this beautiful wide receiving core.
Mm.
Joe Montana walked into J.J. Burden, Willie Davis, 75-year-old Marcus Allen, Jonathan Hayes. I mean, it was
Man,
the
that's pretty
dregs of
impressive, man.
dregs
Those
of
guys.
society, man. I mean,
Yeah,
awful.
right.
And
Made it work.
made it work. What do you
Uh,
got? Willie Davis? All right, that's good enough. Whatever.
yeah, I remember like a crazy Monday night game or something where he was
Denver.
like, you know what, we're gonna come back.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Willie
just let
Davis.
y'all
Yeah.
know how this is gonna work.
Willie Davis with the touchdown. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a little out. Yeah.
Yeah, the little out route, and then he gives the Montana, where he throws his arm, and we're like, yeah. Oh yeah, that was a great game. That was a classic game.
Uh,
All right, the wild card here, Ronald Jones. I mean, I made the mistake of drafting him in a rookie draft. I mean, I'll own that up. I have already traded him though. That tells you what I think of him. But when I watched him in college, I loved him. I thought he was very elusive.
next, Chris Johnson.
Yeah, well, he looked a lot like Reggie
Mm.
Bush. And I was just like, man, this guy's just an athlete. He's just going to do so many things. He got in the NFL and he can't even get on the field. Like, it's not even like somebody good is ahead of him. It was Peyton Barber. I mean, like, golly, man, what is this guy showing in practice? I mean, nothing apparently.
Hey,
But
not Peyton Manning or Marion Barber, but Peyton Barber.
Yeah. And then I saw a stat, and I understand about the missing games, and the injuries and stuff. But they showed Alvin Kamara, his stats, and then player X's stats. It was Ronald Jones. They were the same. They had the same stats, Alvin Kamara and Ronald Jones last year. And, of course, Ronald Jones played 16 games and Alvin Kamara played like 10. But point being, everything was almost exactly the same. So what do you think? I mean, can this dude do this or not? Clearly, I don't think he can if I traded him, but –
well, the one thing with him, I'm wondering, because Brady loves his back that he can check down to.
Yeah,
going all
but
the way
he was
back.
the one that was trying to bulk up last offseason.
Yeah, but so when it comes to him, I'm wondering if he can fit that role. You know what I'm saying? As a pass catching back.
Okay.
So that's just me. If he can fill that role, then he has some fantasy relevance.
Okay.
Yeah. But other than that, you can't be in the NFL as running back and then say you're trying to bulk up. Those don't just go together. That's not a good off season. We know that every time you gain 10 pounds or lose 10 pounds, it was a great off season. But you can't say you're a running back and want to bulk up all of a sudden.
He's not in the best shape of his life. Everybody's in the best shape of their life in July. Yeah. All right. The last one here. Tom Brady's impact on O.J. Howard.
He better get ready, Howard. Now that's a jump, I think.
He's going to go way up.
Big time jump. Of all the guys, Godwins, Evans, I think Howard is a big deal to me. Because Brady, we know he loves a check down, and he loves a tight end right there in his face. First read. You're not feeling it.
This is my take. Okay. He was in an offense already that was blowing the top off of everything, and he didn't do crap. So, you know me, I'm gonna take the rule instead of the exception. Give me Cameron Brate over this guy, because Cameron Brate is consistent, not as athletic, not going to make as many big plays, but he's going to catch the ball, he's going to move the chains, and he's going to be reliable. To me, that screams Tom Brady more than this guy who's been a complete flop his whole career. Brady's more of a guy that if they're not going to run the right route, or they're not going to make the catch, or they're not going to make the play, he's more likely to look at Bruce Arians and go, you can put him on the field, but I'm not throwing him that ball. So whichever way you want to do this is fine with me. But you can put him out here and I won't throw it to him, or you can not put him out here and then we'll throw it to the tight end. So
I hear you. Yeah, we're gonna pull a Stephen A. I'm gonna go against what you're saying.
Okay, you're taking O.J. Howard. All right, I'll take the field. Okay, I'm taking the field because you're taking the exception. I'm taking the rule.
Brady gonna say what? You can do what? Okay, you know what? Just go out there. We gonna make it work some kind of way.
All right, you ready to leave Tom Brady?
Oh yeah, bye AFC East.
All right, all right. Phillip Rivers, my man. I want to start with the bottom question. You can't have more than 10 people in a gathering, and he's got 9 children. So which kid is he kicking out? Or is he kicking out his wife? Are you going to keep all the kids by himself?
Well, hey, I mean, the kids he got, you know, he like to get his wife out. So she stays, if anything. That's gonna happen.
Is he trading one for a first-round draft pick? I mean, what are we doing?
I don't know. That's all.
They don't all get to come to Indianapolis?
See, that was kind of weird. You remember the last 2 years, it was all about the schools and all this and that. He was going to leave or retire because he was a big deal to him about education or something like that when it comes to his kids. And then he just, you know, leave.
$25 million. Okay, well, I appreciate it, everybody. We'll see you later. Yeah, all right, I'm out of here.
I'll buy you all the books y'all need. Don't worry about
it. Private school. Let's go. All right, so Phillip Rivers. How do you like his match there with Frank Reich in Indianapolis?
Well,
wait. Phillip Rivers' status in our leagues. Is he on any roster? I don't think he's on any roster in any league. Maybe the VFC.
Of course, yeah, he's on VFC.
Yeah, okay, so he's on one league, but that's a second-year league. That's a Debbie Superflex. But I don't think he's on either. I don't think he's in any Dynasty roster.
Oh, I know for a fact. You see, we've been doing UFC for 15 years. 10 of them years, it's like Phillip Rivers always get overlooked.
He's been in the free agent auction more times than any other player in the history of our league.
That's how I felt that. Okay, exactly. Then he goes out and
somebody drops $50 million on him, and then he goes out and he's a 4,000-yard, 25 touchdown guy. That's who you're getting. That you already know before you even start. That's what you're getting. You don't even need to worry about it.
But for some reason, it just ain't
policy.
It just ain't cute, I guess, because he just get thrown away.
Somebody thinks he's cute. He's got 9 kids.
Yeah, man.
All right, so let's talk Dynasty then. You have a team. You've got running backs. You've got receivers. You've got tight end. You really need a quarterback. Do you go drop $50 million on Phillip Rivers?
No, I won't. But this is kind of interesting to me. You know, we know Jameis Winston 30 for 30, but what are we gonna call Phillip? But I mean,
I played with a torn ACL, and LaDainian Tomlinson wouldn't go in the game in the AFC Championship.
Well, what I'm saying is, this dude was throwing interception like crazy last year, and it's like,
but once again, that was the exception for him. That was not consistent with his body of work.
What changed?
The offensive coordinator, the head coach, the skill players. I mean, think about who he had earlier in his career. You know, it's LT, it's Vincent Jackson, it's Antonio Gates. Now, I mean, it's Hunter Henry when he's healthy, but he's not in there. So then it's Virgil Green or Jaye Thompson or whoever they had.
But I always looked at Phillip as someone who raised the stats of the people around him. You know what I'm saying? Why you getting attacked? It's not raining where you at?
It is. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's like thunder and lightning here.
Yeah, it's starting to do that here.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
at least if I die, it's recorded and we've got it. It'll be forever saved.
Immortalized.
Yeah.
Oh man, that you hate O.J. Howard. That was your last words.
He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna have success. They're gonna throw it to Carol.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was always with Phillip. You knew he was gonna, no matter what the receivers was, kind of like what we talked about with Montana and J.J. Burton and stuff. He would get receivers, and somehow you just when them get hurt, you just go pick the next one up, and he make that one a good receiver. So
are you saying Father Time is undefeated, and maybe Father Time is?
Why nobody's saying that though? Like he's.
Well, I mean, I think people say that in without saying it, meaning you didn't see there wasn't too many teams beating his door down, and he's in the free agent auction in both of our dynasty leagues.
Okay.
So there are football people that are not eating the cheese. I can tell you that.
Okay. And it was a 1-year deal, wasn't it? Straight up one. It was 2.
I think it was. Was it 1 for 25 or 2 for 50?
Yeah, I think it was.
Brady was 2 for 50, and he was 1 for 25. Tom Brady signed a 2-year contract. He's 50.
and everybody just overlooking the season he had too. We not even like you don't even bring that up. How dare you? Yeah, but with Rivers, I just see like he knows it and he wants to do it and he's done it before, but he's just not getting the outcomes he was getting.
Okay, so
5 years ago.
You're down on Phillip Rivers. Father Time is undefeated.
Right, and it's not like he was an athletic person at in the beginning anyway.
I don't disagree with you, but he doesn't have to be as athletic anyways because that's one of the best offensive lines in the league. In fact, they put together a really nice unit right there.
Right,
they've got a good running back. They've got a tight end. They've got some receivers to work with. I think his value is actually going to go up a little bit from last year because I don't think he was very good last year. I think he's going to kind of go back to being Phillip Rivers. So I'll take the opposite on that one. I think it's
under.
Yeah. I think to me you're taking the exception because you're taking. I don't know.
But think about it.
You're taking the exception on his career, but you're taking the rule in terms of his age.
Right. Right.
Okay.
I mean, look at who his draft class. What Eli,
Phil, and Ben Roethlisberger.
Ben Roethlisberger. I mean,
Y.A. Tittle. Yeah.
Just another example of people we watch get drafted that's retired. You know what I'm saying?
Not like watched getting drafted, like we were together watching it when it happened. That's what we talk about. That's what we mean. Because we get together for the draft regardless, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if this rain is coming onto my porch. Okay. All right. I'm going to be moving and talking on this next one.
Okay.
Because I don't think I want to get rain on my computer. That's just kind of how I roll. That's the way I like to go with it. I'm kind of picky when it comes to those sort of things. All right, so talk to me about T.Y. Hilton. Same value, less value, or better situation?
Well, he got to stay healthy. That's his situation. He's a little guy.
Yes.
So I think that plays into it.
Yeah.
And I'm down. I would say down about. I'm not. Them signing Phillip Rivers not making me get T.Y. on a 3-year deal kind of thing. Yeah, because I think he just been getting hurt, nicked up a little bit too much for me.
Okay. I like him. So you and I just can't get right here with the Colts, but I like him. I like the situation with Rivers and Hilton. I think of like Travis Benjamin and people like that Rivers has made look good over the years, and I feel good about it.
And that's why I might go with number 4 here. I might put him up, but I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna risk it on T.Y. Hilton. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Marlon Mack?
Same.
You think he's going to have that good of a year? Because he had a really nice year last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I see more the same. Nothing like, when you say a boost, are we talking 250 more yards, 5 more touchdowns or something?
To me, he plays better next year than he did last year.
I see more the same. Maybe he catches more, could Phillip would do that.
Well, that's more points, though, because if you're doing any kind of points per reception at all, which we do half point, which, by the way, is the way to do that. If you're putting together a league, that's the way you're supposed to do that. Because there's people that catch a pass. Yeah, they caught it. They caught it behind the line of scrimmage, and they lost yards. Okay, well, that's not worth a point. that's not what we're trying to get accomplished here. We're trying to go the other direction there. So yeah, but I like Mac, but I agree with you. I think it's count on about what you got last year, and then hopefully, sorry,
right.
that'll get you where you're going there for next year. There, finally, good gravy.
Your mic got a little hot.
Whew,
Now,
yeah.
this next guy, I'm up.
All
I'm
right,
going up.
All right, so Jack Doyle,
Jaye.
you like him?
Yes.
You like him?
Love him.
Well, I've got him in the VFC. So what you want? I mean, talk to me. I drafted him in like the 20th round. So let's go.
Man, look at you. Now that's a boost right there. If you wanna sign somebody up, and I think Rivers tight ends,
Yeah.
first thing, and he's your boy left Ebron. So
my boy, you're the one that drafted him. Much to Ken's chagrin, yeah.
But it's like Ken can be all over this part of the podcast, but yeah, I see a big jump when it comes to him dynasty wise.
I saw somebody tweet something yesterday that said, here's a 100 target tight end that no one's talking about. Jack Doyle, anybody? Yeah. And I was like, come on, man, please. I need a first round pick in the VFC. I hope he blows up.
Yeah.
What about Paris Campbell? Didn't do much. He was hurt, but I mean, obviously his value is going to be up anyway, just because he's going to actually play.
True, but having a quarterback like Rivers and knowing that if once Ty double team, and we talked about how Rivers always find that number 2 and number 3 receiver, and all of a sudden they got 800 yards and 5 touchdowns out of nowhere kind of thing. I think Paris Campbell can be all over that.
Well, I'm glad you said Campbell, because when I typed it in, I wrote Hilton, because I had just written T.Y. Hilton. So they probably already have that nickname going, but Paris Hilton. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. But if they don't, they need to start, because that's killer. I loved Paris Campbell coming out. When I thought Andrew Luck was going to be throwing to him, I had him way up here. That dude can fly. F-L-Y, fly. That dude can run, man. I kind of agree with you on the receiving front here. Outside of Doyle, I do like Paris Campbell in this situation. Frank Reich knows how to run an offense, and I like his style. I like his kind of riverboat gambler kind of thing. I like his
how many years were they together in San Diego? I mean, was it a long tenure? Was it Rivers and Reich?
Just a couple.
Oh, yeah.
Because Reich was with Philadelphia for a couple of years. So, I just think it's gonna be pretty good. All right, let's move on.
What's their other receiver?
Well, they had, if you remember, they signed Funchess last year, but he's not there this year. So
it was a weird name guy.
They had Chester Rogers at one point.
It was a big guy. I kept picking him up last year, and he wouldn't do nothing. Can't think his name.
Oh yeah. I picked him up several times too, and he did the exact same thing for me too. And so much so that I don't even remember what the man's name is.
Right. So okay, we can move on there, but maybe that helps him.
All right. So Ryan Tannehill staying in Tennessee. You like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What do you think? Well, you're an expert on Ryan Tannehill.
Well, I just want to know what Tannehill are we getting, because it's like during the season they just let him play, and he was a top 5 quarterback for a lot of weeks at the end of the season, and then they went into the playoffs, and then they just put handcuffs on him. It's like it went night and day to me. It's like,
well, maybe they got in the playoffs and they were just like, you know what? If we're gonna lose, we're gonna lose with our best player getting the ball a bunch of times, and that's Derrick Henry. So we're gonna ride that out. We need to play more conservatively because we want to try to win it all.
I just didn't like how it just, went straight different. The game plan just changed once. I know the playoffs is a different animal, but it just like they handcuffed him so much.
I don't disagree with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they would have had a better shot after they had already beat the Patriots if they would have let him go, but they didn't ask me.
So they invested in him. They gave him 5 years.
All right. So you're a quarterback shy of being really good. Would you go after Tannehill?
No. You have to do it again. I'm gonna have to be hard headed on this one, because I can believe you started him in the championship.
I did.
You know what I'm saying?
I did.
But that's what he was doing, though.
He was a top 5 guy from the time he started till the end of the season.
Yeah. So I get it, but I'm just hard headed when it comes to stuff like that. Yeah. I'm going by, he had to keep showing it. Remember, I was the last one on the oh man, don't get old, Russell.
Man, you too late. I'm older than you, Jack. Your birthday's coming up anyway.
A man with the Rams.
Jared Goff?
Huh?
Jared Goff?
No.
Kurt Warner?
Kurt Warner. Yeah, I was like 3 seasons late on Kurt Warner, because I'm like, he can't keep doing that. He can't keep doing that. And he just kept doing it.
Man, Lonnie texted me like week 2 or week 3 that you're going, man, the Rams are really good. Like, this is going to be a great offense. I'm like, Lonnie, shut up. You're so stupid. You don't know what you're talking about, Like, little did I know there were Hall of Famers over there getting crazy.
Exactly, man. It's like week 5, and now I'm trying to go pick him up, and he's long gone, kind of thing. It's like, so with Tannehill, he's just gonna have to show me again, and by the time he do it, I won't have him. So, but
I have players like that too. It's kind of like I'm not comfortable drafting him until after these players are gone. And there ain't no way in blazes that that's going to happen. So I just go ahead and write the player off. I put him on my board, but I already know there are players on my board. There ain't no way I'm going to get them, because by the time I feel comfortable, somebody else would have drafted them.
Okay, so the question is, and Tannehill for sure is someone that's just out there, because he's not on too many teams.
He's not on the LFC roster. He's not on a UFC roster. He's on my VFC roster. He's my 25th round pick.
So when you pick him up in the auction, what are you putting on him?
Contract-wise?
Yes.
2 at the most. 2 at the most. And you know why? Because we talk about, if you're not sure about the guy, it's a 1-year contract. If you're willing to take him home and at least meet the family, then that's a 2-year contract. And you ready to put a ring on it, then that's a 3-year contract.
Right. So I don't see people picking him up and putting a 3-year deal on him. So
I don't either.
But that could be who he is.
If you want to, I have him in the VFC. You're more than willing to offer me something really good. What about Derrick Henry? Is there any chance he repeats what he did last year?
Well, I know they lost Conklin.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you want to talk about somebody that when even don't come to fantasy, I just feel so bad for, because Tennessee are doing the right way, but it's not right to him. They did the franchise tag. They're going to beat him up for a year and see ya. And it just sucks when you got all these other guys that get paid wrong, because he don't say nothing. He just go out there and do his job. I mean, I remember it was a couple of games where he could have got another touchdown, and everybody knew that, you know, all he had to do was touch the ball, he was going to get a touchdown, and he was cool. So he's a nice guy. I mean, I know he's bigger than Ingram. I do know that much.
And we do know that Ingram got suspended. But all right.
But yeah, man, ride him another year. I mean, let's do it. Why not?
Wow.
I can see him doing it again.
It's interesting what you said. Tennessee's doing him right, but it's not right by him.
Right. It's not.
You're exactly right. That is the most I would do as an NFL owner. If I owned a real NFL team instead of my team, that's the most I would do is a franchise tag and hold him for a year. And then let somebody else take their chances on a 5-6-year-old running back.
And the smartest way to do it is draft them first round to get that 5th year, then franchise them, and then say we drafting your replacement. I mean, it just sucks, but that's the best way. Like you said, we own the team. How you handle a top end running back. That's how you do it. Everybody else hadn't figured that out yet. I mean, there's a couple of teams that have, but it's just happened too many times where they'll pay and don't meet it. So, but with him, I can see him running hard again, having another great year, you know, because he was used so lightly early in his career.
I know. It made me crazy. I'm so glad I didn't have him in Dynasty because that made me so crazy. I'm like, what are you people doing? This is what you do with a young running back. You hand him the ball.
Man.
When
it was
he runs out of steam, his contract will be over.
And they were just scared to use him. Like, you would come in after the fact and be like, well, just give him like 8 carries. You don't want to. I mean, he's a big guy.
And he'd break a 70-yard touchdown. It's like, what's going on? All right, so let me ask you this. You said draft him in the first round, get that 5th-year option. Why not draft him in the 2nd round and only have him for 4 years and then make somebody else pay? You could franchise him if you wanted to.
Right. I mean, I'm talking about, you know, it's some backs are just first-round talent. So it's a rule, you know, you don't want to draft a first-round running back. But I say you can. I would do the, you know, come back in the end of the first round to get my running back. Like Miami this year, we got the 26th pick.
Perfect.
I wouldn't be upset. Huh?
Perfect spot.
Perfect spot. If you can get a Swift right there, I mean, perfect. 6 years of them.
Okay, but here's what happened with the Cowboys. They draft a running back in the first round. They got the 5th-year option, but by the time he gets done with year 3, he wants a new contract.
Yeah. I want a lot of stuff. What got to do with it? Yeah. What you want? I mean, the real teams handle it like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just the way it is. You know, what they say, if you don't like it, they don't play running back. It's an easy fix.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody making you play running back. I mean, you can't help it. 6'3", 250. You know what I'm saying? Play linebacker then.
By the way, the same thing would happen to you at linebacker. But anyways, this one's going to hit a little close to home, but A.J. Brown.
Love him.
About his value.
Ding, 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 ding. Bring it back.
Homer. Homer.
Oh, man. He's great, man. I mean, come on, A.J. You just got to love an A.J. kind of guy. Yeah.
So you're all about A.J. Green then?
All about A.J. Green, man. Bring it on. But to be serious about it, Tannehill found him. You know, even with Corey Davis there, and he went to Brown, and that was automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is going to blossom even more, I think. Play action is Tannehill first eyes is going to be on A.J. Brown. And it's going to take him a while to come off of him to go to somebody else. So I just think that guy, I mean, one thing that intrigued me so much about him is I mean, the dude is so big.
He is. He's thick, man. He reminds me of Sterling Sharp. Do you remember
Mm.
Sterling Sharp, the way he looked? He
I
was
mean, I know how to sharp that thing.
you gotta Sterling Sharp that thing, man. I'm trying to tell Marquise Walker to Sterling Sharp it. Marquise Walker's like, is he on our team? What are you talking about?
Oh man, I'm doing the best I can, coach. What are you doing?
I love
Yeah.
AJ Brown. If you would trade him to me in the UFC, more than happy to take him. More than happy to take him. But yeah, man. I mean, you're talking about run a reverse. You're talking about throw a screen. You're talking about throw it downfield. You're talking about get open on a route. I mean, he's the whole package. In fact, when he got drafted, on my board, it was like AJ Brown, and then he got drafted by the Titans, and I was like AJ Brown.
Right.
Because I didn't. I was like,
right.
Marcus Mariota, really?
Yeah.
He was awful.
Yeah.
And so I was so disappointed when he went to Tennessee that I dropped him down a little bit. But I loved his tape on college, man. I was like, this guy's way better than Metcalf. My goodness, he's a receiver. Metcalf is an athlete. But
see, that's another show right there. We love these players, but then once they get drafted, then all of a sudden it changes.
Absolutely. Well,
and that was a perfect example of him. What you're saying is like, once he went to Tennessee, it just, because we already looked at, they already had Corey Davis as the number one, right? And the offense, the way it's set up, the quarterback,
conservative,
running like 12 points a game or something.
Yeah,
that's not cool.
All right, Corey Davis. Can I start?
Go ahead.
I hate Corey Davis. I've hated Corey Davis when I think they drafted him 4th overall or something like that, or something really, really high. And every year before the season starts, it's, man, this year Corey Davis is gonna go nuts. He's gonna kill it, man. He's like the Devontae Parker of this this generation, man. Every year he's in the best shape of his career. He's gonna do all of these wonderful things. And
size, height,
he's got the
the jumping ability.
The size, he's got the athleticism. He's got all this stuff. He just never does anything. He's the biggest coach killer ever. Oh, I can't stand that guy. Anyways, your thoughts?
Well, I do remember him having one game he just went off. And it was like, oh, see?
That's what coach killers do. They have one game, and they're like, oh, there you go. That's our guy. Yes.
Next week, 2 catches, 20 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like,
20.
What? Yeah. If that, huh?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, so now I'm with you, man. I'm average. I mean, whatever he did last year, more the same. But you know what the crazy part about this is? And I done seen it too many times. Whenever his contract up, he gonna go somewhere to get paid because he got the size, athleticism.
All you can do. He's all right. He's Sammy Watkins. That's probably a good example. Sammy Watkins has been in 2 of the most successful offenses of our time and didn't do squat in either one.
But he have these games where he get like 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
and then
because
it's like,
they're in good offenses.
Because he's fast and big and,
All you can do when Corey Davis is people like that hit the free agent market, you can just go like, please, I don't need a Bleacher Report saying that notifications saying that he's visiting Dallas or Dallas is interested or anything like that. That's the only thing you can do. Like, just not here, please, no. Because we went after Sammy Watkins in 2018.
I remember that.
We offered him like 12 or 13 million a year, and I'm like, what? American dollars? Like, no. Please don't do that ever again. But Kansas City's dumb. And they paid him. All right, Johnny Smith.
Tell me about it. I love him.
I do too. He's way more athletic than I thought he was.
And I give Tannehill, he the way the offense set up. But one thing about Tennessee, though, they had a couple of tight ends last year. Now you don't really like that too much. I couldn't name them.
A couple. It's like Ferkser. Yeah. Yeah. And people
Uh,
you've never heard, like you didn't hear of them in college, you didn't hear them in high school recruiting, you've never heard of these people. They just pop up. But tight end to me is more and more, and this is kind of like what I've learned in Dynasty over the last 15 years, is tight ends kind of like a javelin thrower, meaning there is no young hot talent in javelin throwing. You have to there's an art to it. You have to really kind of get the hang of it. You don't hit your real peak until your 30s. You know what I mean? And not that you have to be 30 years old to be good at tight end, but you don't see people walk into the league and just dominate at tight end.
and then,
It's a more of a 3 to 4 year process where you just have to hold on to them and hope they figure it out. And rather than thinking, I mean, like TJ Hawkinson last year, this is the best tight end prospect in the history of the NFL. And he came out last year. And what did he do? I mean, what did he do? He didn't do anything.
Well, week 1, he was Gronk.
Yeah. When he scored like 2 touchdowns and finished the year with 3 or whatever it was. So, I mean, but Jonnu Smith, I love him because he's starting to he's been in the league a little while. And I don't think, is he on any roster in any of our leagues?
I think somebody drafted him and kept him. Yeah, like as a rookie, and he's still on someone's team for some reason.
Most of our leagues, I think, no.
Right.
So he's out there. Is that somebody you would go drop money on?
No.
I would. I wouldn't drop a, 80 million or something. But I would bid on him.
Well, where he's going to fall on your roster when it comes to tight end? You see him as a number 1 tight end?
Well, me personally, I carry a tight end.
You don't want, and
I put a tight end in my back pocket and I keep it nice and close to my rear end. Okay, I cover my rear end with a tight end. All right. I got Zach Ertz in one league, Travis Kelce in another, and George Kittle in another. Thank you very much. Good night. Y'all have a great evening. See y'all next week.
I'm saying a lot. Tight ends are kind of like quarterbacks. You can get a starter. I mean, you might not have an elite guy, but you can get one. Now, do you see Smith as going above the person you got, kind of thing? And is he going to do that much different?
Not for me, but at the same time, if I had Travis Kelce and nothing behind him, I'd definitely go after Jonnu Smith.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I totally see him as a legit tight end. Yeah, potential tight end 1. Yeah, and potential tight end 1.
I just don't. I mean, unless something just crazy happened in preseason or something, and he just, oh man, he's Delaney Walker all over again or something. Okay, but I just don't. I guess I just don't trust the offense. Like the only person I just don't. I keep going back to what they did the playoffs. They won because of it, but they just changed, and that's not good when it comes to fantasy.
Yeah.
You want people that's gonna be who they're gonna be all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying you hate Bill Belichick?
There you go, and that's what part of that is. Belichick tree. It's gonna be game Pacific.
Well, Pacific is an ocean, but specific means yes, we're going to be exactly on this. Okay. All right. Teddy Bridgewater. Obviously, his value is going to go up. How much do you like him, though? Like, if you were a quarterback short, would that be somebody you could drop a couple of dollars on?
I don't.
Come on, man. He's black.
Yeah, and he's a great story and all that, but I just don't see Carolina being that good. And he's not a gunslinger.
You just offended all of Baylor and Temple Nation.
I didn't know such thing as a Temple Nation.
I don't think there is, but I'm just trying to throw it out there.
I'm actually surprised they made that move, to be honest. I thought Rule was
for Carolina or for Rule?
Both.
Meaning that Rule left Baylor or that Carolina chose him?
No, Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, the Teddy Bridgewater move.
Yeah, because I figured they were just gonna suck, just like Rule do when he first go to a team and just take it, and then we'll go ahead and get Trevor Lawrence, and then we'll be great. Like I ain't really gonna call it tanking, but I thought they would just not be good for this year, and he really see who's going to ride with him, that kind of thing. Because he only got paid,
Is that
a couple
your
of
opinion
dollars.
is that your opinion of what Brian Flores did?
Yes, and it's not like he's going to get fired next year. They kind of paid him some money, and
Right.
so I can take one lump, and the the owner already know. This was part of the interview,
Yeah.
and this is what we're gonna do. This is my vision. Take a year and get all and do it this way, and then get
With
a
that
franchise
roster, that's
quarterback.
probably what I would have done.
So when they made, and it looked like they were doing that because there was rumors that you can get McCaffrey for like 3 first-round picks or something. Like they was just put it out there because they're gonna start all over. Because by the time they're good, he's gonna be 3 years in more.
Like, guys, this
So,
is not fantasy football. This is the NFL. We are not giving you 3 first-round draft picks for a running back. Like, come on, man. All right, let's talk about McCaffrey. 2 straight years of 400 touches?
What was your scout report on this guy?
I believe I took the rule instead of the exception on this one.
Yes.
I had 102 in 20. What did he come out? 2017. 2017. I had 102, and I took Joe Mixon instead of McCaffrey. And I had the dude that had the 4th pick want to trade up to 2, and I told him, I'll do it if you promise me you're going to take Christian McCaffrey. But I didn't end up making the trade. And the guy ended up getting McCaffrey at 4. And he's just been phenomenal. Gosh, he's been great.
Yeah, man.
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Do you buy that he can continue that?
Yeah. I mean,
with Teddy.
if he got Cam Newton to be able to throw him the ball and he was running around here with reception from Cam Newton, Bridgewater can do it. That was the main reason why I didn't have him up that year, because I just didn't see Newton throwing the ball to him when he could just run and do it. And that's what I kept getting caught up on. But McCaffrey's pretty good, so yeah, I think we're gonna roll with that until he just get beat down 3 years from now, maybe, if he lasts that long. But I'm rolling with it. I don't have him, so I don't have to worry about it. I got him in the VFC, but
do you?
Yeah, that was one of Trey moves right there. I can speak on. I'm not gonna speak on the other ones that he decided to do. We had the all IR team. Like every receiver broke their hip or something. Like it was just either they beat somebody's hip or they broke theirs.
It looked good on paper,
you
though.
want to get Antonio Brown, man?
It looked good.
Is on the board. You sure? Yeah.
It looked good on paper, Jay.
Yeah, man. So it gets you a top 5 pick in reality.
I'm gonna take a
you gonna
reduction.
Stick to it?
Yes, I'm taking a reduction on C-Mac. I am. I'm taking a reduction, and I'll tell you why. He's been great. I was wrong.
MVP talk.
I was wrong. White people can play running back. I will. Okay. All right. I was wrong.
He's white.
His mom and dad are. I don't know if he is, but but you don't get 400 touches back-to-back years in the NFL unless you're just a Hall of Famer. And for me to say that he's not going to regress is saying that I think he's a Hall of Famer, and I don't.
And he ain't a big guy either. I mean,
no, but I was, reading an article the other day about him and that class coming out, and they would go, if you really watch film, it wasn't close. He was a much better inside runner than Leonard Fournette.
Mm.
And that's just kind of like, whew, man, film is a booger, isn't it? I mean, goodness.
Right, right. Well, how often do we go by it, though? You know, these combines and pro
Yep.
days.
Yep.
And,
What's your 40? What was your broad
right,
jump?
right. Instead of just watching the tape and
Yeah.
go with it.
Yep.
So, I
All right.
mean,
All right. So I'm on the record. It's recorded. So
I mean, you just
whatever.
gonna keep digging that hole, huh? You already.
Bring in the backhoe. Boop. I'm taking it. Yeah. Now, if I was in a redraft league, I would probably draft him high, but I don't do that. I don't play them little silly games anymore.
Hear that.
All right. DJ Moore.
Well, I'm gonna clump all three of these receivers together.
I'm fine with that. Let's go ahead and just talk about all three of them right now.
Meaning, I don't see any of them just going off, but I can see them being decent.
Joe
So
Brady.
it's not.
Joe Brady is not Sean McVay.
It's just. I'll see if it was a clear cut number one, and I just don't see. I mean, they're going to be good, but on the dynasty team, I mean, where are they going to be? What, your
Wide receiver
third?
three. They better be. Yeah, they better be
Right.
a wide
See,
receiver 3.
and that's it, 3 or 4. So it's like that's just me personally. So when it comes to dynasty wise and trying to just go get them, you don't normally go trade for a number 3 receiver. That's not going across the bottom line on the Facebook page. It's
I
you go
did.
for number ones.
Yeah.
So I just see as this common thing. Maybe one will emerge and say, "Whoo, thank you! I got a quarterback that can throw the ball and be a
Well,
number one." But they just
I've got
average.
I've got LSU friends that tell me Joe Brady is going to blow that offense up. Teddy Bridgewater is going to be the man. DJ Moore is going to the top. Robbie Anderson is going to be a wide receiver 2. Curtis Samuel is going to be a wide receiver 3. Christian McCaffrey is going to lead the league in scoring. Blah 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 blah. And if I thought Teddy Bridgewater really could do that, I would probably buy into that. But I like Joe Brady fine, but Teddy Bridgewater, to me, he's been one big disappointment everywhere he's gone. So, and I know some of it you can't help. I mean, you don't want to get a blood clot. I mean, I'm with you, but
Right.
he's never lived up to expectations, and I certainly don't think he's going to live up to $60 million or whatever they gave him. So,
Right.
let's talk about Ian Thomas.
Nothing to talk about. Nothing to see here.
Oolong, nothing to see here. So you think he's going to even do worse? How could he do worse? He hasn't done anything.
Right. So it's like, I mean, 'cause like we already talked about tight ends, so he's going to have to be one of them, like,
Prove
the
it.
first 5 weeks has 3 touchdowns or something. It's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, my bad.
He's one of those guys for me because I have him in. I don't even know how I got him. I think it was an undrafted free agent rookie pickup, and I just picked him up, and I've been waiting for something to happen. It's like a science experiment where you put it in the refrigerator and you're waiting for something to do something, but then nothing's happening.
Explode or something, you know what I'm saying?
But this is what, 3rd or 4th year in the league. I think it's his 3rd.
Yeah,
To me,
but
it's show me something or get cut kind of deal, because I think he's on my practice squad.
And the tight end one, kept getting hurt there, and it's not like he just took it over.
Never stepped up, but that doesn't mean this year he won't. And this offense is different, and new head coach, and blah blah blah, new quarterback.
And the LSU friend that told you that, and when it happens, you just shake their hand and say, "That was great," but I'm not gonna go with it.
I always say, you're always going to be my friend, but we're going to agree to disagree on this one. All right. All right. Pick a guy, the backup that's most likely to contribute out of this list. Fantasy-wise.
And they can see this list, right? I'm surprised it's not throw up on this list. Like you had to wipe this list off or something.
I've got an opinion on this one. I got an opinion on this one.
And I got to do what now?
which one's going to be the most likely to actually like be a fantasy relevant person in 2020?
I got to pick one.
Yeah.
I'm glad you put the teams by it, because I wouldn't know who half of these players are DBO now. I guess if I had to pick, I would say Mariota. If I had to pick, because he's still young, he's still athletic, he's won the league. Maybe Gruden can help him Sterling Sharp that thing and something and do a revive of his career, and
Probably
he becomes
a 90% chance he did a Gruden's quarterback camp with him.
right. Oh yeah, yeah, and so if I had to, I can see that, because it's not like the quarterback been setting the world on fire. So yeah, man,
Well,
you really got old.
I'm and I'm important. I tell you the guy that I think actually has a chance to do something.
Drum roll,
has
because I know you just wait for this one.
It has something to do with the quarterback ahead of him, but it also has something to do with, like, I just think this dude has something. I don't know if I know he can start in the league. He's done it before. But Jeff Driscoll, I like him. He's athletic. He can move around. And I don't believe in Drew Lock. I mean, maybe he's going to do something. I don't know. But it wouldn't shock me to see Drew Lock get hurt and Jeff Driscoll come in and be successful.
I mean, I know I'm a fantasy guru and I'm supposed to know everything, but is that the guy he was with New England or something, and then he went? No, he went straight to Denver. I'm thinking of somebody else.
He was with Detroit.
Detroit. Okay.
I think he was originally picked up by Cincinnati, but then he went to Detroit.
Did he start a game or something?
He started last year, yeah. He almost beat Dallas.
Oh, okay. Oh, now we getting to where is hitting home. You had some insight on this one, huh?
I do. I mean, but I've seen him play. I mean, he can move around. He's got a good arm. You would think Case Keenum would have come out of one of our mouths, but I don't know. I like Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, and Keenum this guy done been everywhere.
I think he's played for the whole NFC. So I think he's starting on the AFC.
He already got all the NFC striked off.
All right, here we go. This is our what in the world is going on with this player page. All right. So we can either stop here or keep going, but this is going to be like what is going on here? 2 number 1 overall picks, Cam Newton, Jameis Winston. Why are these two not on an NFL roster? Because I think they're on a roster in every league that we're in.
And they're so fantasy relevant, too.
Well, they were last year.
Yeah, that's what. So, the question is what?
Yeah, I'm like, what? They were number 1 overall picks. They're youngish quarterbacks.
Right.
I mean, Cam Newton's going into his 10th year. Jameis Winston's going into his sixth, because the 5th year option. But what? Why are they not on the roster?
I think it's immediately after the draft is done.
There's going to be a market.
All of a sudden, people are going to be, because I think the teams that's wanting to get quarterbacks, because you don't want to get those guys, Newton and Winston, now,
and then draft,
because now you done showed your hand. Like you almost can't get a top end quarterback kind of thing. So we draft, if we like what we got, we're good. But if not, as soon as the draft over, we get one of these veterans in here.
Okay, so your best guess. Do either
Well,
one of these guys start week 1 for an NFL team?
well, you know what my fear is, and that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, one of them top two go to New England and be a MVP for the next. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just my luck, the NFL's luck. Like you saying, what? Why are these guys still out here? And then you get somebody like Belichick and say, oh, okay, I'll take you and make you right. And then boom, you're
Don't throw
dealing
it
with
like
that
that.
team.
Stop. Yeah. Don't
Man,
ever throw like that again.
man. So that's my biggest fear. So that's my what, that New England gets one of these, and it's like, what was the rest of the league doing? These guys are sitting out here. But we know with New Cam, it's more about the medical. And you
Okay.
know,
I mean, I agree with that. I agree with that. I think shoulder. I think foot. Well, what is he? He's a guy that throws it and runs it. I mean, that's terrible. You know, the medical. I mean, there's no worse injury you could have. But yeah, to me, his is all medical. But Winston, to me, is very curious because he's a little weird, but he's got a great arm.
right? Yeah,
He's a
you're a
good
passer.
athlete. He's not. I wouldn't call him mobile, but
Right.
he's a good athlete, and he threw 30 touchdowns last year. I know he threw 30 interceptions, but to me, that's you can coach that up a little bit. I'm surprised that Arians let him throw 30 interceptions. You know, I mean, being the quarterback guru kind of guy. There's got to be a quarterback person in the league that's like, give me Jameis Winston, I'll turn him into this and that. You know,
And not just fantasy, but how many times does this happen where the great franchises get them? You know what I'm saying? Pittsburgh, New England, you know what I'm saying? San Francisco or somebody. It's like you saying, what? The NFL, these guys are out here. Don't just let them stay out there for all of a sudden, Ben Roethlisberger arm falls off and then they get Winston and then he's great. They coach him up. Don't throw to the other team. Oh, okay. Nobody ever told me that before. All right, bam. This dude's throwing for 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns
well,
for the next 10 years.
I think I saw a stat that this has never happened. You've never had somebody lead the league in passing yards and then not be on a team the next year or not play, not start week 1 the next year.
And see,
Like,
and this,
how does this happen? It's a passing league.
right, right, right. And it's just going to be one of them teams that we both hate because they're always good. You know what I'm saying?
To
And
me,
bam.
Pittsburgh just looks like a Jameis Winston team, don't they?
Right.
You can
That's
already
my.
see him in the uniform. It's like we've already seen Byron Leftwich in that uniform. We already know what he's going to look like.
Oh man. And it's like, what are we doing? Why do we allow this to happen? Ah, goodness. And it's just right out there for everybody to take advantage of, but nobody won't
Ah,
do it.
no. It makes me crazy. All right. Tyrod Taylor. Do you buy him as the LA starter week 1?
No way, no how. Not if they want to win.
Don't you know what he tweets?
Oh, he's great. That's something.
And he's gonna blow the top off of this thing.
Oh wow. Nah, no. I mean, this guy's still in the league.
So you're saying they draft Jordan Love, they draft
Right.
somebody and start him?
Right. But like I'm saying, if they don't get one of them three, then right after the draft, they calling up one of these guys. And we wanted them all along. Oh man, we just love, this guy's arm and that kind of thing. So
He's an
that's what I
MVP.
feel.
Yeah. Probably your favorite guy on the list, Jarrett Stidham. I've heard, well, the way to win in this league is get a quarterback on a rookie deal.
Right.
So it's affordable. Get good players around him. Wreck shop. Well, no better place could you be than to be with the greatest coach of all time, Bill Belichick, and be on a rookie quarterback deal, and Tom Brady leaves town, right?
how many times, and I think it might be one, that someone's followed a legend, it was anything.
Steve Young, Aaron Rodgers,
And see, there you go. And
Danny
then
White, um,
so
Andrew Luck.
I'm like you with this. It went straight to Luck after Manning, or it was some bums?
Well, Manning was on the team, but he was on IR, and then Dan Orlovsky was on there. Yeah.
Oh, so that's what I'm saying. It's like how you say you go with the rule. So the rule says this guy's gonna suck because he's not gonna be able to take the pressure.
Not
Of,
even Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick can get him going.
no, I mean this dude had who did he have the ability to throw to, and he was average. Like he had a Hall of Fame receiving core was I mean that's when they were scoring points. He was there.
Yeah.
And then he went to Auburn and was nobody with all that talent they had. I know they said the offense, but I mean, you got SEC talent and you just a guy. So I ain't buying it.
I agree with you totally. 100% on everything that you just said. But the most Bill Belichick thing to ever happen would be for Jarrett Stidham to walk in and outplay what Tom Brady did last year and them go to the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl or something. You know what I mean?
And right, but it's going to be week one he plays good, and everybody's going to be like, "See, week two he's oh man."
Well, this is the Twitter culture that we live in. Everybody's going to overreact to every single thing that
And then
happens.
he's not going to win another game his whole career. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Well,
you're nobody.
I think the
So
chances that what you said is 100% true is very high. But I'm curious. I'm watching with a very curious eye. I know he's on at least one roster.
right.
So I think that
I
person is real interested.
I would I would throw New England in that bunch of teams. Like if they don't get their quarterback, they eyes a rookie. Like Jordan Love might be their guy, kind of thing, and they're not going to move up to get him. And if you don't get him, then all of a sudden Cam Newton is playing for New England, kind of thing. So, yeah, that's my thinking on that. It's
Boy,
going to be one of them right after the draft kind of things.
man, would you die a little bit inside if Cam Newton went to the New England Patriots?
Well, Cam destroys us. For some reason, him.
He's a
I
Florida boy.
remember, huh?
He's a Florida boy.
Oh, well, I just know that he was be average against somebody and then come play us on prime time and then he's MVP again. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. So um I just think like right after the draft, some of these quarterback value is gonna skyrocket. So, the thing is to get it now. Anybody in our leagues trying to make moves to get Winston or get Newton. Of course not. But then, bam, we get that breaking news where they sign, and then all of a sudden now you can't get them. Yeah, you can't give them away, but then you can't get them.
All right, Nick Foles. Chicago. See, Chicago is kind of like quarterback hell. It's
Quarterbacks go to die.
it's no, it's like they never get them. They had their best quarterbacks. If you start talking about best quarterbacks in Chicago Bears history, it's like Sid Luckman.
See, that's only you going to say that. So we won't even get that.
Jim McMahon. Jim Harbaugh.
What's the bad name?
Rex Grossman. Jim Miller.
There you go. That's what I was thinking, Jim Miller. Yeah.
They never ever have a quarterback, man. So for them to trade up for no reason and draft Mitch Trubisky with those other quarterbacks just lurking there, looking at him, and then 2-3 years later go, oh, you know what? That was I'm sorry we messed up. Apologize.
No, he's the starter.
We're gonna trade for a guy that got $85 million a year ago and got beat out by a 6th-round draft pick. That's gonna fix it. What? What are y'all doing? If I was Brett Miller or a Chicago
I like
Bears
this column. What? I like this.
what are y'all doing?
What
are you doing?
Wait, nobody even asked the question, but you asked what?
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 What are they? So, I mean, do you have any kind of like confidence that Nick Foles is going to do something for Allen Robinson and Anthony Miller and
raise my hand? Yes, I do.
Really?
I'm gonna be that guy. Oh okay. Yes.
All right.
Oh yes. I think in that offense,
they're gonna run Philly special.
Remix of the Philly special. But yeah, I like it. And believe it or not, I think a lot of guys in the league like it because Robinson and not just the Rockets been getting a lot of attention in the league. You know what I'm saying? So
wow.
So I'm not by myself on this one.
All right.
Yeah. And
I'm one of those people that, like I just think they're a horribly run organization. I think they have been for a really long time. And I don't like Foles' game in Illinois. Meaning, when the weather turns cold, he's not the kind of guy to fire that ball through that wind. He's the kind of guy that has good touch and makes good decisions. And that didn't really fit there. So we'll see what happens. I know you hope I'm wrong with all of your Allen Robinson stocks. But
think what the coaching staff was getting out of Trubisky.
Yeah.
Think about that. And then now you get an actual quarterback in there.
Yeah.
I mean, they got weapons.
I don't hate the coach. I don't hate the coach. I hate the organization though. They don't. Yeah, I think Matt Nagy's a good coach, but I just
right. And the
organization has been garbage for a long time.
Yeah, but you
think about this. Think about this. Did you watch the '85 Bears?
Yes.
Okay. How many more Super Bowls did they show up in?
Right.
This is the pre-free agency era.
Right. You're right.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up. All right, that's dropping the mic. That's it. They got one Super Bowl out of that crew.
Right.
Ridiculous.
Crazy. Yeah.
Ridiculous. All right, question. We have other positions. What? We have other positions that we can go through, and we can do that now, or we can save that for the next show.
We can save it for the next show, but I do want to add something that I think is happening on the sneak.
Okay.
The Chiefs.
Okay.
Already like kind of what you just talked about with 85 Bears, like they should have won more. And quietly, I'm looking at the Chiefs, and they're quietly keeping that team together. You know what I'm saying? We know it's an offense-driven team, and somehow every week one of the receivers is taking a one-year deal, and it's like, wow, that's just different. We known as Super Bowl teams, you go get paid. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
If you are a great player and you never win a championship, you better be really, really, really good if you want to be in the Hall of Fame. But you can be a lesser player, but if you play on a bunch of Super Bowl champions, all of a sudden you look a whole lot better.
Right.
I've heard people make an argument for the Hall of Fame for Kevin Falk. I'm serious. I mean, if you go back and look at John Starworth's stats and Lynn Swann, I mean, 500 catches in his career,
receivers doing that in their first 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
oh
like,
yeah.
yeah, like okay, got that out the way. But I just think the Chiefs as an offense, that is huge what they're doing, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have. I mean, especially with the time that we're dealing with, where you're not gonna get OTAs. Maybe you're not gonna get
Okay.
the quarterbacks to go somewhere and just practice with your players. They getting
Yeah.
Watkins coming back, which I didn't like because I just knew he was gone and Hartman would just move up. You know what I'm saying? But
Robinson came back.
Robinson came back, and then they on
But
the sneak.
you missed the whole thing, man. You missed the key acquisition. The Dallas Cowboys signed Blake Bell.
Oh, y'all's betting
Ruined
stuff.
their offense. Ruined it. They're in ashes. Ruined it.
Y'all had to recover because Witten left, so that's how y'all did it, huh? Yeah.
That's not how we did it. We paid Jarwin.
There you go.
We extended Jarwin 4 years, man. The guy's going to be he's a free agent in every league, and he's going for 1,000 yards this year, Jay. 1,000 yards.
Okay, well, let's for a minute have your Cowboy corner, man.
First of all, I didn't really. All right, for a long time for the Cowboys, it was the crazy owner. Almost felt like we were the Raiders for a while. Late 90s, early 2000s, Jerry was just running amok. Round about 2005, Steven kind of took over when Parcells got there, and 2004. Parcells gets there, Steven steps up. The Arena Football League team in Dallas folds, and we get Will McClay. He was a scout for a while, but then he became like the draft guy. And ever since then, we've drafted well. If you look at the drafts when he took over, it was like 2012, 2013, something like that. The Cowboys have been one of the best drafting teams in the league. And so we've started running the organization better, but we had the wrong head coach. And so and I think culture and system is really, really important. And I think Jason Garrett is a good, solid person, and he's a good coach-ish, but he doesn't run a good program. And, I'm excited about a new line of thinking and a new way of going. And like I think we talked about Don Terry Poe on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys have never, in the history of the earth, ever signed a guy that big. That signed a guy that big to play defensive tackle, because that's not been our MO. That's not the kind of defense that we ran. We didn't run that under Landry. We didn't run it under Jimmy Johnson. We didn't run it in Parcells. We've never had that trash can full of dirt guy. Never. And this new staff, McCarthy Garrett and Marinelli and those guys, they're like, give me a guy that is this tall, that weighs this much, that runs this in the 40, has this arm length, and that's going to be the guy that plays the 3 technique. And so we would pass over defensive tackles all the time and pass over these kind of people because they didn't fit the profile. McCarthy's exact opposite. He's like, give me a bunch of good players, I'll figure out how to use them. And that's how you go to 4 or 5 championship games like he did in Green Bay. That's how you win a Super Bowl. You get a bunch of good players and you just put them together and you figure it out. And so I'm excited for a new regime. I'm never this guy. I'm never the guy. Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. I'm never that guy. I'm never that guy. You probably never heard me say that. But I'm always the cautiously optimistic guy. Okay, I'm like, okay, I like McCarthy. I like this staff. I like the idea of who we have on defense. We've got like 4 or 5 different coaching positions that were former NFL head coaches. One of them was yours.
Who that?
Joe Philbin.
Oh, wow. What is he doing? Offensive line or
Offensive
something?
line, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what he went to.
Yeah. Jim Tomsula and Nolan.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think there's one more. But anyways, I like keeping Kellen Moore. That offense, number one in the league last year, 800 more yards than the Chiefs last year.
Wow. Man, go
Like
ahead, spit some knowledge, man.
makes your head hurt. Like, why didn't we score more touchdowns? Yeah, anyways, but yeah, I like that offense, and I especially like it if we get a good receiver in the first 3 rounds, which I think we will.
I mean,
So,
it's pretty them out there, plenty of them.
you almost can't mess up.
Right, right. Well, with that position,
Well, and I trust Will McClay, and I trust McCarthy more than Garrett.
see, you just said a word that I haven't felt in a long time with Miami. Trust. I actually
I haven't
trust.
either since
Right.
Shula retired.
And
Serious.
that's a big word, man, because it's like no matter what they do, because with me it's a small sample size, but you just trust. You're more open to whatever it is. Like you're saying, you give benefit of the doubt because you've done that before, and they showed that they can handle it. So when it comes to the draft, when it comes to this new season, I trust that they're going to do the right thing.
Really?
I might not agree with it. I might not, Herbert go before Tua or whatever they do, because of what they show me in the small sample size, I get it. The coaching staff, our coach, I trust. He said, you know what? You just bring me, what he say, just give me some groceries and I can make it happen. That's the kind of trust. So I get what you're saying.
You're drinking the Flonase? Okay.
I've got a cabinet full of it. Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, I got to tell you, man, I think we found our winning formula.
Yeah, man. Big time. Amen, man. Because I be pulled all over the place. I mean, I got no kids here. You know what I'm saying? I got
know.
all this stuff.
Never wearing any clothes. I know. I hate y'all.
Yeah, you want me to stand up right now?
No!
Now I know how Judge feel. You know what I'm saying?
But man, I love you, dude. I'm so glad we got a chance to do this, and I hope we get to do it again soon. Because this is it, man. This is the way to do this. And we'll go through some other. We got running backs, we got receivers, we got some tight ends, I even got a couple IDPs in there, man. Come on.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So hook me up later this week or next week, and we'll mess around and get this knocked out again. And then we'll just have us a good time, man. People want to benefit from it. You go right ahead. So, yeah.
Good to be back, man.
Yes. Gosh. Yes. Yes. Nothing I'd rather do, man. Well, not nothing. So, all right, man. Well, appreciate you very much, man. And
love you, brother.
Love you. And this is
Dynasty have a haircut next time.
Man, good Lord, you look like a hot mess. You look like Paul Bunyan or something over there, man. Goodness gracious! You wear, if you still have that next time, wear flannel.
Oh, right, there you go. Yeah, until we win a Super Bowl.
Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah, it might be a little while. Might be a little while. All right, man. This is Dynasty Game Time signing out. Hey, we love football. We just love Jesus more.
Amen. All right, brother.